Billiken fans, I'm excited to welcome on a player who, over 4 seasons for the Billikens, played in 128 games, started 103, and became one of only 33 players in program history to surpass 1,000 career points. Since leaving SLU, he's been across the globe playing professionally and back home as a graduate manager for the Billikens. It's number 5, Davell Roby. Davell, thanks for coming on. First, I need to apologize for how often I may have booed teams you were a part of in some sort of way. I need to get that off my chest before we get this going.
Hey, I understand, man. It was tough going for a little minute, man. It was tough going.
Second of all, a little birdie told me about a week or so ago, and then I saw your Instagram story. You are back in St. Louis.
Yes.
What you got going on?
So I'm back in St. Louis, of course. I'm more on the admin side of things. Going through 2 coaching changes, you realize coaches come and go, right? So I'm on the admin side of things. I'm athletic director at Sumner High School.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So when do you are you already started there? Are you settling in soon? What's next?
So I moved here to St. Louis. I moved back to St. Louis probably like a week ago. So I'm starting up this about end of July, middle of July. So yeah, that's when I start back up. So I'll be full force this upcoming school year.
Gotcha. And will you be involved in coaching in some way?
I haven't decided. I'm trying to stay away from this side.
Yeah.
Full on admin all the way, through and through. So I don't want to really get into coaching, but if I have to, I would.
Yeah.
So you're angling for Chris May's job eventually, is what I'm
man.
hearing.
Eventually, man, about 15 years, man, I'm trying to be a slewer. Try to have that position.
I'm not going to lie. That is the exact scenario that I want for an athletic director. Anybody in admin, you look at somebody like Janet Oberly, lives and breathes.
Amazing people. Wow.
She lives and breathes Billiken. She was a Billiken. And so that's the kind of people that I like that, I like people with a diverse background, but also I want someone who cares on that deep level for the athletic department. You weren't born in St. Louis, though. You were born in Memphis. It's a basketball town. The town that gave the world Penny Hardaway. What was it like growing up in the Memphis basketball scene?
Oh, well, funny story. Penny was my when he first started the team. Penny was on the EYBL circuit. He was my head coach. So he was my coach, and the assistant coach was Todd Day, who was also a first-round pick. He played at the University of Arkansas. Like you said, it's a basketball town. Everybody lives and breathes it every single day. We play ball sun up to sundown all day, every day, man. So I think with us not having an NFL team there, we have the Grizzlies there, we have the Tigers there, and everybody just basketball. We don't have anything else. We don't have no baseball team, anything like that. We got the minor league to the Cardinals, but it's more so just basketball there, man.
So it wasn't just Team Penny. He didn't just slap his name on it. He was actually there coaching?
Yeah, head coaching, man, 5 days a week. We play in the summer circuit on the weekend, and he was a great coach then. And at high school, we have pretty good guys, and we actually made it to the Final Four in the EYBL and lost to some really good guys down in Florida. They had like Dello, Russell, Grayson Allen, and Joel Berry. We lost to their team in the championship in the Final Four. So we had a really good team, man. But yeah. He was the head coach of the team.
He was your head coach. That's kind of, you kind of led into who is Penny to you. But talk to us about Penny, because he's a guy with a reputation, for better or worse. What does he mean to you as, a head coach or role model?
I mean, honestly, man, he's like, if you could say like a neighborhood hero, like the amazing Spider-Man guy of the neighborhood, that saved everybody. He's like that guy. He's always there. He's always extend his hand in ways, whatever way he can. Sometimes it, hurt him sometimes, but he has such a big heart, and he's always giving and helping people out and putting them in position to be a better person and better player. And I have nothing but good things to say about him, man. And like I said, he's an NBA guy at the end of the day. without all the injuries, he probably been Hall of Fame right away if he's not Hall of Fame still. So
Yep.
with a guy being that way, it's basically his way when he do things. It's hard to tell him about a game of basketball when a guy have that much experience and that much success in the game of basketball. So he know the game, and I think he's doing a great job with his guys. And, I still think he's doing a really good job. So I'm not
So at Memphis now, it seems like there's always like something going on, right? Like I don't know how much of it is like kind of media overplaying drama or something like that, or how much of it actually is how many people kind of come and go, coaches, players in that program. How closely have you followed his tenure at Memphis, and what do you think of the job he's doing there?
I think I first started following he very, very first got there because I was, with dudes, I was excited for him for the opportunity because I was thinking like, hey, what's a better face that could lead the University of Memphis in basketball besides Penny Hardaway, right? And I think when I was grad assistant for Travis Ford a couple of years back, I forgot what year it was, but we played them. They had Jalen Duran, who went to the NBA, and I was watching that. We was doing film and watching them all the time, and I was just like, man, for him to be a damn good offensive player, it's like the focus is defense. They do a hell of a job on defense. So after a period of time, he started, producing some better guards, making guys better over a period of time. But now it's, you're not making guys better over a period of time. Guys are coming in for 1 year and they're leaving right away. So there's no time for development. It's either come in, produce now, or pack your bags for, better have the end of the semester, not the end of the year anymore. So it's different now.
What do you make of? Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Pete.
Well, I was just going to say, as a 4-year guy yourself, I mean, how do you look at that? The lack of opportunities coaches have for development now.
I was just talking to some the other day with someone about that. And I would like to say it's hard to really, like as an alum for specific schools and things like that. Like it's hard to really dive into schools anymore. Like because the players are coming in and leaving. Like you usually come in. And you follow a player like myself, you watch me grow for 4 years, right? You watch the progress, right? And then like now it's like, guys coming in and it's just like, hey, what can you do for me? It's not what I'm doing for the university anymore. Is anything like that. So I'm kind of not on the side of it. Because I'm a 4-year guy who didn't transfer. So it's like I'm on it. Right. Let's go through it. Let's go through the process. Let's grow. How can a coach help you become a better man and a better player also? But like I said, it's different now, and times change. You got to just give it the change, I suppose.
Yeah, I think not to interject my opinion, but I think it's really a lot of guys. We've reached a point where players are looking at that short term, and they're getting paid that first year, second year, third year, but they're not looking at the down the road, what you can really get from the university, not monetarily speaking.
I agree, and I was saying the other day, like a lot of guys are just going to the highest bidder, right? You're going to the highest bidder, and you're on the back end of the bench, right? And now you don't play a lot, right? So what opportunity are they setting up for you after college basketball, right? So like if I go to a smaller school and they may not offer me as much as a Power 5 school, but I dominate. Right. So now I'm putting myself in a position to be a professional and make more money professionally because I have the film and I've shown what I can do. But a lot of guys are taking the highest bid money, going to these bigger schools, and they're not playing. They're on the back end of the bench. They're playing a small amount of minutes, and they'll be the last paycheck, So it's hard to, you got to gauge it the right way, and I think guys need to be careful with that.
Yeah, watching Jalen Williams last night for Oklahoma City, a guy from Santa Clara. It's hard to think about, a few years ago, had he had the opportunity to, chase an extra 50, 100 grand or something like that to go to another school, how many millions of dollars might he have been passing up down the road? You never quite know.
You go to UCLA, USC, or Oregon, one of those bigger Pac-12 schools, right? Or maybe even Gonzaga. I don't know if you consider that, but like maybe one of the other schools out there on the West Coast. Does he get the same amount of minutes and the same opportunity with guys with, just as much talent around him, or guys at school. So that's why I say guys got to be careful with that, I believe.
You talked about talent, and you played on a loaded White Station High School team. Yeah. You had some dudes on that squad. It was Chris Chioza. My fault. My fault. I always get on people for mispronouncing things, and then I go and do it. It's very hypocritical with me. I gotta.
Yeah.
And Laurent Black. That's an easy one.
Yeah.
Were you kind of a big three down there? Is that the way you kind of saw each other?
Okay, not just down there. Okay, I want to clear the record. We were number 2 in the country at one point, right? You do know that, right? We were like, I think that was how we was able to, everybody was able to acquire so many scholarships. We were number 2 in the country. We knew how to win. We was best friends since we were like probably 11 years old. It's like 7 days a week from church to Bible studies to practice to everything you name. We did everything together. So we won like the first 25 games of the season my senior year, and then we finally lost to Montverde at the Bass Pro Tournament of Champions. It was our first loss. To Montverde, they had Ben Simmons, D'Angelo Russell again, and some more Justin Beals, who was all ACC. They had a few guys, and it was our first loss. And we had a really good team, man. Chris Chelsea went a ring with the Golden State Warriors on that team, and now Laurent Black, he was all Big Ten in Illinois, and now he coaches with the Portland Trail Blazers. So yeah, man, they did a pretty good job. We had a pretty good team. We was pretty good, honestly. Yeah, we had 8 Division I guys on that team, man. I mean, honestly, man, like
I didn't realize it was 8. I thought you guys had 4 or 5. I didn't know it was 8.
It was 8 of us, and then we had 8 of the guys on Division I on that team, man. And there were 6 seniors. One was a junior, another one was a sophomore, and I think everyone was that was pretty good in what they did, man. It was good. It was nice.
So that was my next question was, do you still keep up with those guys? But it sounds like you've always been pretty close.
Oh yeah, man. Probably our starting 5 is the only one I really keep up with. We still talk. We still in the same group message we created from high school, so it still goes on. Like I can only imagine how much storage just taking up on my iPhone, man, which is unreal.
No, yeah, delete them messages. You can't get canceled now. Can't get canceled,
right?
So when Laurent Black, if I'm not mistaken, he started his coaching career at Dayton. Did you give him a hard time for that, or was that all right?
I asked him like, you went to Illinois. Why would you pick Dayton out of all the places to go? Jay. Whatever, he has some type of connection, relationship, and it's even deeper. It's even deeper than that. When he was there, we kind of like always like we did everything together. So like when he was going through the process, I would ask him how did he handle things, and he gave me how would I handle things, and we kind of just enjoyed doing it together at the same time. It was a good time. But now, he sometimes go back to Dayton and he works out Jalen Crutcher. Jalen Crutcher's from Memphis as well.
Yeah,
it's like one of the most hated people by the Billikens, right?
Oh.
I still see him. I still talk to him all the time. And I got to hear his, crap he tells me about how he owns the place and stuff like that. So, yeah, it's deep, man.
You talked about kind of how you were going through process together. You kind of enjoyed that. What talk to us about your recruiting process. What were your priorities when you were kind of meeting with schools and coaches?
When I came out, there was a lot of confusion because, I was playing in the South, of course, and I had a lot of SEC schools at the time. And I remember when I was in 10th grade, I got my first scholarship probably in 9th grade. Like my first official offer, like team telling me, "Hey, we're gonna give you a scholarship." And that was from Andy Kennedy, who's at Ole Miss. And at the time I was playing, and we was winning games and not. But by 10th grade, in the 10th grade, I kind of said to myself, like, "Yo, I remember I was talking to Wake Forest in the locker room in my school, and I was like, you know what, I want to go to Wake Forest." And it was our original pick. And I was talking with him, and then the crazy thing, how this recruitment thing goes. So at the time, Chris Chelsea wasn't in my school yet, but we was best friends. I told Chris Chelsea to come over to the school with me, and once he came over, I bumped to the shooting guard position. And I always played point guard at first. So when I switched over to shooting guard, they kind of fell back like, "Hey, we're not sure. We want a true point guard." I'm like, I can play true point guard, but, it's kind of back and forth. So they kind of fell back off me. And then now I was left with Tennessee, Vanderbilt, Arkansas, Mississippi State, and SLU at the time. And I get SLU to I want to say, I forgot what tournament it was. Jim Platt came up to my school. I actually was going to miss school that day. I wasn't going to school that day, high school. And he shot me a text and he was like, "Yo, where are you?" And I'm down the street. I'm on the way to school. I was actually in the bed. I actually got up, came up to the school, and sat down and talked to Jim Platt. And after that, I kind of built a relationship with him. But my last three was like Vanderbilt and Mississippi State and St. Louis. But St. Louis was so hot at the time, they ended up going to the Sweet 16 and losing to Louisville. And I was like, man, this seemed like a good place to be. And, I knew that I'd come in, it was going to be fresh. I knew a lot of guys was leaving, and I was pretty much promised a, starting guard spot coming in. So I was just like, you know what, I'm going to take it instead of, going somewhere else and playing the two guard mostly my first year, which I wanted to play combo more so on the ball than off the ball. So that's what ended up being in St. Louis.
So a lot of it was the opportunity, right? Because they're coming off a 3 consecutive tournament appearances, but everybody's leaving, right? Like everybody's graduating from that team.
And people ask all the time, like, man, what made you come here besides going to the other school that was in your final 3? And it was the opportunity. It was I saw people was leaving, and I had to make the assumption that, hey, they've been to the tournament 3 times in a row. They're really hot. Maybe I can help keep that going. But, I came in with a different kind of, class and different kind of outlook when I got there. So it's kind of different.
Yeah, you come into, like you said, you come into a program fresh off an NCAA tournament appearance. You grab a home win against SIU and then a non-conference road win at Indiana State. I mean, those aren't bad wins. That's a good start.
But about home wins.
Yeah. Well, hey, I'll ask the questions around here. All right, Davell. Like I was trying to say, no, things really kind of went downhill from there, as you alluded to. At what point do you kind of realize the season's just kind of going to be that way?
I want to say it was like right before our Christmas break, and we kind of started breaking up. Guys started talking about leaving at the end of the first semester. Guys didn't really want to be there. It was a lot of just, pull one way and I pushed the other way, and it wasn't any good. And we never had true definitive roles of who was going to do what and what was going to be what, and the rotations was never really set my first year. So it was a lot of back and forth. And that's when I was just like, man, what's going on? I started my entire freshman year, but I played better in conference play than non-conference for sure, because you can start to get more comfortable. But I thought my freshman year I had double digits in conference play, but it was just too much back and forth. It was inconsistency amongst everybody, man. And I just think it was just no clear messages. And I was like, damn, this might go really bad. And then once the play started, I was really we weren't good. And I was like, man, we may not win another game at this point, man. But we won a couple more in conference, but it was tough, man. It was rough.
Do you feel like the lack of defined roles, was that something that was just was Cruz and then were the staff, were they trying to figure it out on the fly, or did you feel like, oh wow, they kind of lost the plot here?
As I got, when I was younger, I thought that, but as I got older and I started to see both sides of it, I could also blame us as players as well, right? We come in inconsistent some days, and some guys decide to show up some days at practice, and some days we don't decide to show up, right? So now the coach, even if you want to put these roles into place, he's not sure because, he's not sure what person he's going to get that day. So I can't blame him for that. But like I said, I think we could have done a lot of things better. I think the rotations, how many guys we played at the time probably didn't really want to play basketball. They were just playing because, just for the scholarship. You know what I mean? I think the teams I was there before I got here, prior to 14, I think those guys wanted to play basketball. They wanted to be basketball players. But I think after that, we started recruiting guys because they were good guys, or guys because of another reason, and there wasn't basketball players. You understand what I'm saying? So it's a little different situation.
Right.
I'm hearing not basketball players, and one guy comes to mind. This is my entire existence is leading to this question, basically. What the fuck is up with Austin McBroom?
Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's a crazy. Austin McBroom is like one of the most different guys I've ever met. I mean, him and Granny Glaze was the most. Oh shit!
Oh, we've done it. We've gone there. We've gone there. Let's go.
Those are the two. on the team with those guys was different, man. It's like Granny Glaze had this ability, right? Whereas he could go to the club, he could go to all the clubs, right? And he would leave the club at 6 a.m. Weights would be at 6:30 or practice. He'll walk in in his jeans, his outfit from the club, and win every drill because he couldn't stop moving. He was a machine. He's just like any conditioning drill, any weightlifting drill, he wins it. And it's like, yo, like, come on, man. Like, it was like, it didn't, it was a lack of focus in that place. And then, Austin worked, but Austin he was ahead of his time. He was like more in social media before social media was in social media. When he fell into that loop and he realized how much money I could get out of it early, it was like, okay, I'm a 5'8" basketball player. Like, why not do social media first? And he had everything lined up, man. I mean, every big artist or big celebrity that came to St. Louis, he had a direct line to him. And I wasn't like, it was just something he did. It was just, he was caught into that. So, but honestly, he could shoot the ball. He could play, man. But honestly, it's just a different situation for him.
Are you aware of what Grandy Glaze is up to?
I don't want to know.
Okay.
I don't want to speak on it, but I don't want to know. I don't want to speak on it because I heard just like 2 weeks ago, somebody just told me about it, and I was just heard about it. I was just like, you know what? I could definitely see that.
Mm-hmm. It's whatever you think it is. It's
yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? When Brandon was my team, I will say this: he was a damn good teammate, man.
Yeah,
I could see that.
He was a damn good teammate to me in a way. Whereas, like, if anybody on the team was like struggling with something or was stranded on the side of the road, he would help you. But like,
absolutely,
not a good teammate in a way where he kept getting in trouble where we had to keep doing punishment for him. Though, not a good teammate.
He like every time I would be with my mom on campus, and this happened maybe twice. We'd run into Grandy Glaze. Grandy Glaze couldn't have been nicer to my mother. I cannot. I mean, but then again, he had that charm. Like he's an incredibly charming human being, which he is using to his benefit these days. Which I would venture to say that Austin McBroom was the opposite and is using that to his advantage these days. I mean, just that can we speak on that? Can we speak on Austin McBroom? Because he's a scam artist now. He's the former Billiken. No, I don't even want to do that. A guy who played on the Billikens is now a YouTube scam artist. Like that's an insane sentence, dude.
Yeah, see, I'll be honest with you, man. I kind of know like a little bit. I don't know exactly what they're doing. I'm not keeping up with them. I just know that I was in some relationship that everybody know about. I don't know the person he's with. I don't know anything. I kind of, to be honest with you, man, I'm not really into all that, but I kind of hear when people tell me about it, like I kind of hear the gist of stuff, and I'm just like, man, it's crazy, or man, like it's a bit much, like.
But
I'm not really sure what Grant's doing exactly, but I heard it's extremely exotic, and I heard that the things that Austin is doing is kind of back and forth, like we talk about on social media.
So you said he was ahead of his time, McBroom, with the social media stuff, and I remember that very clearly because he did this video when he was at school where they found a homeless guy on the side of the road, and they like took him in. It was him and a buddy. I didn't know who the friend was, but they took him and like got his hair cut and got him showered up and new clothes and stuff like that. And I just remember thinking like that's I mean, I guess it's nice, but there was something about it that felt a little off, right? Like it seemed like it was more for the attention of the thing, like trying to get the attention.
Yeah.
And do you remember like any other stuff like that he was doing at the time, or was it just like you said, like he just seemed to have a knack for knowing everybody who came in town?
You're talking about a guy with big money in California at the time. His parents have got all his money, right? He come to St. Louis, right? So like he feels like he can do, a lot. So he didn't only do that like nice kind stuff on camera. He actually done nice stuff all the time. Like he does nice stuff. Like if you riding by, he's gonna give you a homeless person on the corner some money. He's not gonna give him a $5 or $1 or anything like that. He'll give him $20 or $100 or $50 or something like that. Like he done that. Like I see him do that. He do nice things all the time.
Yeah.
I just hate that he put it on camera. I'm not a big fan of people doing nice things to people and making want an acknowledgement for it, or want to be seen for it, or be in the forefront of it. I'm more of a want to do nice stuff and never mention it, because I feel like when you mention that you're doing nice stuff for people, that's the only reason you did it, So it's just me. I don't know.
Right.
Is my memory failing me, or was there a story that he just kind of up and left and nobody knew what happened to him?
Yeah, he had a reason. It was
not that anybody didn't know why he left. Like he just kind of just stopped coming one day.
No, he had an argument with the a funny story. We was at practice one day and we all had to line up no, we wasn't lined up on the back line. We was Coach sent us to get water at the time. And when he finna get water, somebody came in to tell Coach Cruz about a video that Osman Broom made. And it was about him eating tacos some kind of crazy way. He was eating the tacos some type of sexual way, whatever it may be, right? So, and Coach Cruz went bananas. All right, so he went, to be honest with you, okay, Coach Cruz to me was a great guy for helping you understand life lessons, like a life coach, right? Trying to teach you things like that. Now, as a basketball coach for the team we had, it wasn't fitting for what he was trying to do. But as in trying to develop us as a young man, he did that part. But I can't give him that. So with that being said, he had an argument with Osman Brown one day, and this in practice, they're going back and forth, they're yelling back and forth, and Coach Cruz ends with, you're going to decide today if you're going to do social media or you're going to do basketball. And when he told him that, Osman decided, you know what, I go home and go play. And we went to Eastern Washington, he left. And we was just so amazed because it was like, damn, he really gonna pick social media over everything that we got going. But shit was already in the dumps, man. He went to Eastern Washington and he was we're all conference, averaging 18 points, 17 points. He was shooting we let him go. He was shooting 50% from three. He was shooting a hell of a clip and he was doing a pretty damn good job, but we just couldn't play him because coach was cutting his minutes because of the stuff he was doing off the court. We had a lot of guys on that team where everything was, the minutes was deterring and the rotations was all bad because things they were doing off the court. So that's why the team was kind of bad too, because we couldn't really play the guys we wanted to play as much because coach was kind of punishing them for off the court things. There was always something going on. So that kind of deterred from the team's success.
So going into your sophomore year, I mean, so looking back, yeah, you're right. You started 30 games as a freshman, right? Your sophomore year, now you only start 7 games. Yeah. And I'm kind of wondering, so was this another year of just not the personnel just not getting on the same page?
It was so. I was supposed to start that year too, but what happened was before that year, that season start, we have to pass this conditioning test. I'll be honest with you, we have to pass the conditioning test, right? Mm-hmm. First, we had to pass the conditioning test. So I passed it late, but my freshman year, they still started me anyway, and it worked out. So my sophomore year, we come back. I'm also the last one to pass the conditioning test, and I'm doing everything I can to pass. I'm there early. I'm working out extra, and the conditioning test, I just couldn't pass it. It just wasn't my thing. Some guys just can't wear them out. But if you tell me let's go play basketball for the whole 40 minutes, I can go play. So I'm telling him, I'm like, yo, I'm not slowing the practice down. I'm keeping the practice. I'm pushing the tempo. He's like, well, you have to pass the run, the mile time, because if you don't pass it, then I can't. I got to put the respect to those guys. So I'm like, you know what, man? I'm like, to hell with it, right? Man, we playing basketball, we're going to be on a damn track team, right? So I am telling him that and kind of go back and forth about it. And then he had this idea that he's not going to start me. So he brought me on the bench the whole season almost. And then we needed to win a game. I will never forget this game. We needed this is the game when Brett Jolly quit the team. And it's also the game in my sophomore year when he did not play the entire game. And I had just played really good against the team, man. We was playing George Mason. It was January or whatever. You can check it up now. I had 0 minutes. I was on the bench dressed out. And I was literally the only guy that could probably stop the other guard and actually play the guard on our team to win the game because we had beat George Mason because George Mason was at the bottom with us. And it was opportunity after opportunity. He could have put me in the game. And he was just refused to do it. Because, I was Brett Jolly's roommate. And Brett Jolly got kicked out of kicked off the team and shoot around before the game. And he was mad at me because I didn't hold Brett Jolly accountable for what he did. And I'm just like, man, look, I can't do that. Like I'm saying, like, I'm not going to put myself in harm's way. Like, what you want me to speak up for Brett? Like, just because I tell him to do something, he's not going to do it. So, yeah, he kind of sat me down that whole game for George Mason. And then we had a few altercations back and forth. And it was just like, man, we just never got on the same page. We never could agree about things. And with me playing point guard at the time, he wanted me to do things a different kind of way. And I had a different kind of way of doing it. And it just didn't agree. And I kind of let him know I was going to transfer into the semester break. Like, I was going to transfer at the end of my sophomore year and not come back. But then I ended up speaking to someone, and they was telling me around late January, early February, like, hey, don't transfer already. Don't tell us you're going to transfer already. We're going to make changes. So this kind of derailed me from leaving. So my sophomore year.
Yeah, I'm looking at that box score now. George Mason scored 92 points.
Oh,
I remember this game. This was at Shea Fitz Arena. Yeah, and you didn't get into this game. They scored. I'll never forget this.
I was talking about Marquise Moore. They got Marquise Moore.
Yeah, and they scored 58 points in the second half.
Yeah, exactly. And they ran it up, and you know what? Honestly, looking back on it, man, you sit there and you watch the guy kill the team, and you just wish the better for your team, but you try to look at your coach like, man, you're supposed to play me this game. I also only got to match up with him.
Yeah.
I understand that one, so yeah.
Man, that's tough. And then the second game, you guys go to Mason and you win in overtime.
Exactly. There we go.
You know, it's interesting to me because Jim Cruz kind of has that reputation. You know, he was at Army. He does come off as kind of a small town guy, but he's also kind of got that hard ass to him. It's interesting that he brought in some guys that had issues. You know, you talked about Jolly getting in trouble with them. Malik Yarborough was kind of
he was a hell of a player. He just he didn't want to let him loose though. Like, he did not want. Malik Yarborough gave him so much hell, but he did not want to let him loose. If we had let Malik Yarborough loose like we were supposed to, we've been a lot better than what we were supposed to be, man.
I agree with that. A lot of fans.
He's a good player, man. I'm telling you.
He's a good player. The guy didn't know he never saw a drive that wasn't wide open. Yeah. Every time he had the ball, the lane was wide open, regardless of if there were five guys collapsing.
Yeah, but we didn't use him right, man. I think we should put him at the 4 a bit more. And like we kept putting him at the 3, so he's not going to guard 3 pretty well. But he had a little problem with his weight here and there. But he's 6'7" with a 7'1" wingspan, man. Like, who wouldn't use that? Like, shit. Like, he's a hell of a finisher, man. He can rebound the ball, and then he can pass when he needs to pass it. But him and Coach Rue got on such a bad start that it kind of derailed his development, man. It didn't turn out how it was supposed to. Like, think about the guys we had, like, right? So Malik he goes to Illinois State. He get all conference, right? And he puts up big numbers. Then you have Miles Runs. He go to Pacific, right? He goes there. He go all conference. Then he go to Oklahoma, win all newcomer team in the Big Ten. Like, come on, man. Like, we had some guys that actually could play a little bit, but the development kind of derailed here when it was here.
So what did Jolly actually do? I mean, you kind of referred to, like, yeah, he's a roommate and you got in trouble and you wanted to stay out of his way. And now I'm like, man, I never thought of Brett Jolly. Like, we knew Yarborough and Cruz had butted heads, but, like, I never knew Jolly was like that.
So Jolly ended up. So
hold on. So are you aware of the Jolly has become kind of a meme of that, like, era of Billiken basketball? Like, he's kind of like a gag that is made among Billiken fans online. Like, he's kind of, it's a goof.
There was one shot in particular. He took one shot and he kind of, like, faded. He left his arm up and he faded back and the shot missed really badly. You know what I mean?
It went over the backboard.
You know what's so crazy about this shot? That he literally told me that he was going to do it before he did. That's what kind of guy Brett was. I love Brett. You know, I just went to Vegas not too long ago. He got a nice house. He got a nice wife and child and dog and stuff like that. But, you know, Brett is a hilarious guy. He told me, he was the type of guy before the game would tell me what he's going to do before he do it. and he damn sure went through it.
That's amazing. So
Back leg fade away. I know what you're talking about.
yeah.
But this is how Brett got kicked off, man. We came to we was in shoot around one day, and coach was like, "Hey, guys, let's do the 2-man layup like we would before the game." Mind you, this is January, so we're like, "Why the hell are we doing 2-man layup before the game?" I mean, like we were working on before the game and shoot around. So I'm thinking maybe he just want to get our mind right for the game. Like, what the hell, right? So I'm doing it, right? He stops practice. And then he says to us, as he stops it, he says, "Guys, we watched the film last game. Mind you, I don't know who we played before Jordan Mason. I'm pretty sure we lost." And I'm saying to myself, like, he's like, "Guys, we watched the film last game. And layup line before the game, some of you guys were dicking around." And we looking around like, who is he talking about, right? So Brett looks at me and tells me, like, come on, me. I'm like, what you do? So if you could ever go back and you could somehow, some way pull up the layup line the game before George Mason, like Brett is shooting some insane shots in layup. Like, and he's missing every layup. He's just throwing them all across the court. Like, it's crazy. And I didn't see it at the time, but coach we had to go watch film. He pulls up the layup line before the game before. We watched the layup line, man, and we watched the layup line, and Brett is just out there having a blast, like a little kid at Chuck E. Cheese. Like, he's just throwing the ball all over the place. He's shooting that back shot fade away, hitting the top of the backboard. It's crazy shit left to right. And coach told him, "You know what? You don't take this game serious. You're not a basketball player. We don't need you anymore. You can, you're no longer on scholarship. We're going to let you go, whatever." And that was it. That was the end of the story, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
See, I don't remember him getting kicked off. That's the funny thing. I think I've kind of compartmentalized those seasons.
No, he definitely got kicked off.
Jeez.
That team had the funniest stories, man, by far.
Keep going. If you got it,
that's all I got right now, man. I can't think of anyone else.
Oh man, we'll try. Hold on, let's just start naming guys here. I think.
So what's once you start to catch wind that Cruz himself is going to be on the way out? What's the atmosphere around the program at the time there?
Man, like I said, the team morale and the guys were so separated at the time. I think we kind of figured out probably like towards the end of January. We kind of figured out, like, okay, like, they're gonna get rid of them, whatever, right? But we didn't know who was coming in next. Nobody had a clue. And then a lot of guys just went like loco, man. They just was on waiver. You know what? Let me get my numbers. I'm about to transfer. Or let me just play for myself. I'm about to transfer. Like, his system don't matter because it don't work for us. So let's just hoop this way and make sure we take care of ourselves to put ourselves in the next position. So everything just kind of went sour from there, man. So that plane never got off the ground that year.
Yeah. Did you how fast was it that the new hire came in, like Ford and everything, and like how many people were going to stick it out and kind of wait around?
Hold on. We got to go chronologically, and I am looking through the schedule, and Jesus freaking Christ, that Dayton game, my God, dude, God. We got to talk about that.
Hey, Dayton?
Yeah.
You talking about the one at Dayton or at
yes,
the overtime
at Dayton?
Yeah, I was at that game.
73-37. Pete, would you like to have a come to Jesus moment, having attended that game, and just tell Davell what your experience was like?
I went up because I live in Cincinnati, so I'm an hour south of UD Arena, right? So every year when SLU plays at Dayton, I'm there. And this year I happened to go because it was let's see here. It was actually a Wednesday night. That's right. Yeah. So I went up straight from work. I'm with my father-in-law, my wife, and my sister-in-law. My wife and sister-in-law both went to SLU too. So we go up there, and I think that was the last time any of them have gone with me to a game at Dayton. I've gone alone every year since then.
Yeah. I mean, I would too, honestly. Man, that was a tough day. I remember it was so loud, and they were making every shot, and we couldn't score a basket. And I don't even know what the coaching scheme, what was the plan in the game. It was probably just, I don't know. But I don't know what it was. You know, whatever it was, bad. Lose game by 36 points like that is terrible, man. I don't understand that. That was tough. It was probably one of my worst losses ever, man. Like, even I probably lost by more at some point in my life, but like honestly, it just you felt so defeated. You knew you had no chance the entire game. It was almost like we wasn't in the same conference.
You went 3 for 3 in that game. I just got to say, like the team went 50. The team went 15 of 55 from the field. 15 made field goals. They went three.
That play a lot.
No, you played 16 minutes off the bench in that game. This was when I guess he was still I don't know, still punishing you or whatever.
I mean, like I said, man, I told you that ship had sailed already. You know.
Yeah.
I didn't know I played only like 16, 15 minutes that game. I went 3-3. I didn't know that, but I mean, I don't know, man. I'm not saying I could have helped that much more, but shit, I mean, I could have made it closer than 36. I think probably 30.
Yeah, that was. I I think that's safe to say that was a rough one.
Yeah, that was tough. That was tough. I think they had Charles Cook, Scoochie Smith that year. Who was that? With that?
Pete, you got that?
Sorry, what was your question?
Who'd they have that year on Dayton?
Oh, who Dayton had that year? Yeah, so Dayton was. They had Kendall Pollard was one of their starters. They had Dyshawn Pierre, Charles Cook, Scoochie Smith was the point guard. That was Big Steve McElveen.
Harissa Stone, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I think he was a freshman that year. So they had a pretty good top 6 or so.
Charles Cook, Scoochie Smith was a damn good player. And Pollard was.
Yeah. And that's a lot of like 3 and 4 year guys too. Like they had a lot of veterans who hung around there.
Yeah.
Pete, why don't you go ahead and I rudely interrupted your question. I'll let you go pop back into that one.
I mean, dude, I don't know how many more of these games, Zach, you actually want to go over.
I don't particularly. I mean, yeah, no, just go ahead.
I guess I'm really just kind of curious what that transitional period was like, like so you start, down the stretch, you guys know Cruz is on his way out. Everybody kind of starts playing for themselves a little bit. But then who wants to actually kind of wait around and see what the next hire is and what was the team atmosphere like at that point?
That transition was crazy. Okay. So Jan and Chris did a great job of, trying to, keep everybody in tight and, let us know that they're working hard, they're gonna find the, good guy for the next fit. And everyone was trying to put their papers in the transfer, but they wouldn't let you put it in right away because like, you know what, you gotta at least give us a chance for us out, right? Because I don't know if you know, like when a lot of guys transfer, it messes up the it messes with the some of the school.
The APR or AP, what it's the grades.
Yeah, it's something, right? Yeah. So
the graduation rate.
Yeah, they didn't want everybody to transfer out because of those things. So it's funny because when I think we kind of at the conference tournament, I remember I was telling some the admin, I was like, hey, I'm leaving. Trying to let you know, like we out. It was like, well, just wait, let us give it a chance. We working, we're talking to someone, and I started to hear things, and I was thinking we were gonna get the guy from I thought we were gonna get Stallings at first.
Oh yeah.
Right. Like, you know what? Stallings recruited me when I was in high school. Shit, perfect. So, I'll stick around. And we ended up waiting, and then Coach Ford came. It was like Travis Ford. So, oh shit, okay, cool. Let's see what he can do. But I don't know the guy. I never talked to him, never recruited me, nothing like that. So I was trying to see what players was he gonna bring with him. Just the things you gotta look at. What players he gonna bring with him, and what kind of energy and what kind of coaching style he got. And we saw a lot of teams was like it was guard oriented. One athletic big and guard oriented. So we was like, it's cool. It's like the newer basketball because we're so used to that older brand of basketball with Jim Cruz. So he came in. He didn't meet with the whole team at first. He came in, and when he came in, it was like late at night, right? And we heard that he got there. So we was like, oh shit, all right, boots on the ground, right? So the next morning, they put out a message like, hey, team meeting. They kind of shot the team meeting down, and then he went individual meetings. And I'm like, oh shit, okay, cool. So, me and my boys, me, Miles, and Malik was so close, and Brett, all 4 of us was like super tight. So, we walking around campus, whatever, and the meetings are like 15-minute increments. I'm like, shit, he gonna get us in and out. This is gonna be quick. So Travis Ford end up meeting with us one by one by one by one. And I remember I was like the 10th person that he was gonna meet with, you know. But I was nervous because all the guys who went before me, when he went to the meeting, he basically told them, hey, you need to go somewhere else, take a scholarship, you can leave. So he's telling guys this, So all the guys who left, it was only one guy who left. And that was Miles Reynolds. Yeah, Miles Reynolds was the only guy who left, like on his terms, like saying, I'm gonna leave before Coach Ford could tell him we don't need you. So when he came in, Coach Travis Ford was like, he was gonna keep me and he was gonna keep Marcus Bartley. But he was getting rid of everybody else. And his mind was, hey, I'm telling you, you leave, you gotta leave, you gotta leave, you gotta leave. And he was getting guys out of there, man. We got some guys who come in, and that's what he did, man. He was cleaning the house.
What about Mike Crawford?
Oh yeah.
I thought we were into some sort of deep. I thought we had a jumping point for a deep story on him.
I'm sorry, I was talking about my class.
You're good.
Yeah, he kept Mike Crawford. He liked Mike Crawford, like Reggie Beko. You have to keep the older guys. They've been there already, so we got to finish it out with them. So the older guys he pretty much kept, but man, all the younger guys and all the guys in my class, he got rid of those guys. It was no chance. He did one workout with us, honestly, one workout, and it was like, okay, all y'all can go home.
Wow, that's crazy. I didn't realize it was like that.
Yeah, man. But I'll tell you what to this day, man. Just so we just not bringing Travis Ford to the picture, man. I love Travis Ford, man. I love playing Travis Ford. Honestly, I don't understand. I would never understand why no player wouldn't want to play for him. Honestly.
Interesting.
So how soon? I mean, you say you love Travis Ford and everything, but how soon did the vibe shift? Kind of take over.
When he came in first day, we put the team blue into effect, and once he put that into effect, it was kind of like we was playing a different style of basketball. It was more so like smash mouth basketball. Like when they went to the tournament the year after I left, that was like when I was sitting there watching it. I was like, shit, this is what we've been playing for this entire time. Now it's into play, right? So like he's been teaching that same brand of basketball this entire time, man. Like this smash mouth basketball, and he finally got all the guys he needed to do it. And the guys were old enough, like Jordan became old enough. Hassan has become old enough where they can, do it for 40 minutes. And then Javon Best became an offensive threat when he been playing defense his entire career. When he learned to play offense, it was well. Then he had Tremaine Isabel, who was a hell of a player. But like I said, man, he finally got everything into place, and that's why I was so excited for the team because I was like, shit, he finally got everything into place, man. He did that. He set it up, man.
What's something that you experienced going through that coaching change that people might not really consider, but kind of made a big impact on you day to day?
Oh man, probably assistant coaches too, man. Can I say that? The assistants he brought in, man. He brought in Van Macon and Will Bailey and Corey Tate, and man, those guys. It's hard to really like speak directly with a head coach and get a correct understanding of the head coach, but it's all about your liaisons, right? So he had the correct liaisons, such as those assistants, and those guys kind of delivered the message in a way that was relatable and it was more up to date. It was more like pop culture. It was more like what's going on in today's world. Like he could deliver and speak and communicate with us in certain ways. And Travis Ford was always a player coach, so with that being the case, it was like he could relate to us and understand our angle on things, and he kind of push you towards not only team milestones but individual milestones, and it kind of makes the team better. So yeah.
So that was Corey Tate's first year on the staff. How much was Tate? That sort of like cultural change that you're kind of referring to there.
Man. Tate was great, man. Tate was he's the ultimate relationship guy. Like if there's nothing else he's gonna do, he's gonna make sure everybody in the room is seen and heard, and he's gonna make sure like you go to school or something, like you got a teacher that's like your person, right? Like that you can confide in, gonna get an understanding, and can put you in a better position or show you a correct way of doing things. That's what he do, and he just always made sure he's like a huge part of camaraderie. So that's why I'm not surprised he stuck around for the next staff as well, because he makes sure camaraderie is there, man. Like he do a great job of that. He don't speak a lot on things, but people like that don't speak a lot. But they finally speak. It's loud and it's heard. It don't matter. Whatever message he delivers, it's picking up because he don't speak a lot.
People talk about Corey Tate a lot, and they don't often talk about his contribution to a coaching staff on the basketball end. They kind of either glaze over that or kind of, and I'm guilty of it too. You don't really know exactly what he does. What does Corey Tate bring on the basketball side of things to a coaching staff?
People don't know, too, though. So, Tate does contribute in the basketball way. So it's like people don't see it because he's not open during the game and yelling, and you don't see him on the bench doing this and doing that. But all his work is done during the week, and he understands it. If you tell a guy all week what to do, his preparation within scout and things like that. Like when I'm in the game, why do I have to reinforce those things to you in that way, right? And timeout, he can tap you on your shoulder and just tell you straight up like what you need to do, or he just tell you straight up, hey, you're being salted at. He'll tell you straight like what you need to do directly. He's not sugarcoating saying, hey, box out this way. No, go hit him, man. You gotta be tougher than that. Like he tell you straight up what you need to do and what position you need to be in. So Tate does a lot. He's not doing X's and O's like, hey, what type of hammer action was particular set to run, but he is teaching you things and like how to position yourself, or when you should be aggressive, or times and time management, clock management, like things like that. He teaches you things like that. He's not teaching you X's and O's like where to go, but he's gonna tell you, hey, this you can cut right here if this guy in this position, or how to read the zone a certain way. But he's not gonna tell you whole set with everybody. And I think that's where people get misconstrued. But that's part of the coaching staff, right? Everybody play a part.
So this season, your junior year, you wind up leading the team in scoring, in assists. You're playing 32 and a half minutes a game, starting every game. I know it was a struggle, though, with wins and losses. So how do you kind of look back at that year in terms of like, yeah, I don't think, we won like you would have liked to, but at the same time, you're reaching new career highs with your individual performance.
Yeah, but I was, Coach Boyd kind of brought me in. He told me that, hey, this kind of be your team right now, man. Like, I know you can do these things, and I know you can play. And he kind of gave me confidence, and that's what Coach Boyd was great at. He was ready to give me guys confidence. Mm-hmm. So he kind of told me, hey, this is your team now. These last 2 years, finish out strong, set the culture, and we can, get this thing back on the road. And, you might sneak up and win some games that, we be in tough spots. You just stay close and we can win them. And so my junior year, I remember we had guys red shirting, and you came to practice. Shit, you would have thought we was going to the tournament because the guys was red shirt was damn good. Yeah. So my junior year, we ended up practicing and playing, and he kind of just, made me believe myself. And he was adamant on. I remember we had the Christmas break, and he was telling me like, "Hey, this year I want you to get most improved player in the conference," because you said that people kind of. You said your freshman year you had a really strong. I averaged like 10 points, 10, 11 points my freshman year in conference play. But my sophomore year, I didn't play as much. So he's like, you know what? I know you're capable. The junior year, he worked the shit out of me all sophomore summer. And then my junior year came up. He's like, hey, you can get most improved player in the conference if you show up. So with that being the case, man, my junior year, he kind of fed me. He was like, hey, just go, give me confidence to go do it. And I kind of played a lot better. I had a lot of big games. I had some games where I didn't do much, and some nights where he pulled me in the office at 1 a.m. and telling me I'm letting everybody down and stuff like that. But it was a great time though. But I mean, the wins and losses was a struggle, man. We just didn't have a team built up for wins at the time, and he was getting those guys in.
Yeah, that Ball State game, that opener, it was the first time I ever bet money on SLU. I bet money on SLU. It was the first time I've ever bet. It was also the last time I've ever put money on. So I learned my lesson. So I want to thank you, honestly, for setting me straight.
Yeah, they had a guy. They had a point guard for their team. I don't know if you got the stats pulled up. A guy named Taylor, the point guard, Taylor Persons.
Taylor Persons, yeah.
That's a game. I never heard a kid in my life, and he came out and man, did he have some game? And I was like, shit, Ball State, like, come on, man. But he had some game, man. He killed us our freshman year, and not freshman year. He killed us that first game of the season, and yeah, that kind of threw me off.
Him and Franco House. 23 and 21 for each of them.
So many things. Yeah. I got perfect recall, man. If you call in the game, I remember every game. Like talked about, like our worst loss probably since I've been with Coach Ford, probably just fucking Detroit.
Yeah, I remember that one too. I remember that one too.
I didn't play well, and we should have won that game. And I came in the game late. I hit a three for us to take a lead, and he was so mad at me because he felt like I wasn't trying the entire game because it was Detroit. And that's the night he pulled me off. It was like 2 a.m. and telling me how I have so much more to offer, and I was letting the team down.
You know that season, your junior year, what's interesting to me is you guys weren't bad at home, right? You had a winning record at home, but you only had one true road win, right? And only one win on a neutral floor. What's the I don't know a good way to frame that question other than just like how is that I don't know why is it so hard to win on the road in college basketball?
Like I said, we had a team of guys that, first of all, in college basketball, I think you got to have some bona fide shot makers if you're gonna go on the road and win games, right?
Yeah,
because it's they got to be bona fide, like through contact, fouls, whatever it may be. They got to see a better make shots, right? And you got to have guys that's a little bit seasoned, a little bit older, and some guys who don't have they got to have a little. I hate to use the words, but like a little bit, I don't give a damn. You gotta have a I don't give a damn mentality to them a little bit because they gotta be ready to take that shot. Because if you pass them the shot, you might pass them for an extra pass. You're gonna get a shot that you shouldn't be shooting, but you're not gonna get a better shot than the shot that you had. So you can't play the correct way of basketball sometimes on the road. Sometimes on the road you gotta take that shot where let your nuts hang a little bit, man. And I think we didn't have enough of that my junior year. So we was at home, you guys take this shot, you at home, right? You get the momentum. But yeah, on the road we weren't doing it. It was rough. It was rough on the road, man. I think about it every road game.
Do you have any road stories? We love road stories. You got anything?
We almost died the same on the bench. I remember that.
What? Go on.
When the woman stole the bus.
Oh, okay. Sorry, it was a little muffled.
I mean, we and I remember we was in the private place. Look, we fly charter, of course. So we get on the plane. And we get up in the air. Man, I swear that was the. I don't want to fly no more. Yeah, like after that was it. I don't want to fly no more in my life. Man, the plane going up, down, and like dying out, then like straight diving, and then like coming back up, then like evening out, then like the wind was like almost shaking it up and down, and guys on the plane taking their shirt off, they sweating, everybody's hot, everybody's freaking out, man. It was crazy, man. It was a time where you hear people in the back praying. It was a different kind of time on that plane, man. I didn't want to fly no more. After we just got our stuff stolen on the bus, Mike Crawford found it because he had found my iPhone on his computer. So he saw the lady driving fast on the expressway going off the way, called the police track her down. We get on the plane probably 7 hours late, and the plane almost goes down in a snowstorm over and over and over. And I said to myself, man, I think we ended up landing in Ohio, getting off the damn plane, and just drove down from Ohio. That was a crazy time, man. I'll never forget that road trip, man. I hated it.
Zach, who was telling us though?
I don't think anybody has told us the plane story.
Man, it was sweating. Everybody sweat. I think even Tate had his damn shirt on.
Well, he did that later in his coaching career.
Not sweating.
When he was dancing in the locker room, you remember that?
We were sweating though. No, we were sweating.
Zach, who was telling us? We had an interview previously where that bus driver, the woman who she was, had been drinking, like as you said, somebody told us that she reached back out to like the program years later and was like, "Hey, like I got clean, I got my life in order, like all that kind of stuff." Do you remember who was telling?
No, I don't remember any of that. But then again, I don't retain. Davell, when I do these interviews, I'm always listening for like the next thing I can go into, and I'm not listening for recollection. So I have zero. I black out during these interviews.
I can't remember if it was one of the coaches or if there was a player who caught wind of it or something like that. But yeah, anyway,
unbelievable.
Yeah, she obviously was not allowed to drive for that company.
My goodness.
But yeah, she got her life back on track. I didn't remember that the plane ride was so dramatic though.
No. So I want to talk about two guys. I want to talk first about Mike Crawford.
Well,
I don't know. Tell me something interesting about that guy.
Mike Crawford is, taught me how to change a flat tire, I guess. I mean, that's the first thing he taught me. But
What happened there? Hold on. Go on. Tell us that story.
what happened was, I think Mike Crawford used to always, he has a girlfriend on campus. She had a car. So I always asked Mike Crawford, can I drive his car? So I would drive his car. And he was like, hey, when I first asked for his car, he said, hey, come out to the back. Meet me in the back. So I'm like, okay, cool. I come out, he got like a little wrench in his hand and shit. He's like, I'm gonna show you know how to change a flat. I say no. He said, I'm gonna show you because if you drive my car, if you get a flat, you didn't know how to change it because I can't come to you because you got the car. So he showed me how to change a flat. That was like the second week of school I met him, man. That was a cool idea. That was cool. But Mike Crawford always been a great teammate, man. I love Mike. Me and Mike played so many minutes together. I just wish we won more together. But yeah, man, Mike was amazing, man. Like in the weight room, he don't look as strong and as in shape as he is, but like shit, he can run all day. He can lift a ton. I always knew he was gonna be a lawyer the entire time, but I love Mike, man. Mike is a great teammate to me, man.
Do you ever get to hang out with Mike Senior?
No, man, no. I heard completely blasted, but I never.
Absolutely, just a national treasure. He no that's funny that you said that you tell that story about him teaching you and why he's teaching you to change time, because I can see his dad doing the exact same thing. Like
Yeah.
that is so clearly a passed down behavior from father to son in this case, and I'm dying inside laughing.
Yeah, man. So yeah, Mike was a hell of a team, man. I love Mike, man. He was consistent, man. Mike came every day to work, man. He didn't take no plays off, but him and Ash Yakubu, they worked their ass off.
Speaking of work, you're just giving me insane segues in this recording. Insane work ethics. Are you going to Aaron Hines boot camp now that you're back in town?
Ooh, so crazy. I just moved back to St. Louis, and Aaron's so damn strong. Funny story I just did with him. He don't even know this. Anyway, I call Aaron. I'm like, hey, Aaron, because I know he's super strong. I'm like, hey, Aaron, I need you to help me move some things into my apartment. Right? So I'm like, you know what? I want to see how strong he really is. So I got this big new mattress, right? So I'm like, Aaron, I need you to help me carry this mattress upstairs. I'm going to get one end, you get the other end, right? So, like, he get kind of towards the middle. He picks the mattress up. I'm like, you know what? Let me just put my hands on it. Look like I'm holding it, but I'm not going to hold it and see if he can pick it up himself the whole entire time. Damn sure he did. He's so damn strong, man. Like, it was amazing. I just let him carry it up. I said, hey, you're strong, bro. You got it, man. So, but I'm not going into boot camp. He tried to convince me, but I told him I don't want it.
Well, you gave maybe the best advertisement for it you could have right there.
Yeah, he's been so strong so long, man. It's amazing.
Hey, what an incredible kind of story he is too. And not, I mean, after college, I mean, you can see the work ethic that clearly he had in college, going from a walk on to a very important contributor on a good team.
Yeah, he played a ton. I wouldn't say good team. He was all right, but
I mean,
he played a ton, man. He played a ton. He played with heart, man. He brought it every day in practice. He deserved that scholarship. He deserved those minutes. He earned those minutes, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. He earned all that, man. And I was happy for him. He finally did get the scholarship, man.
I got one more question from your junior year, because there's one guy on the roster that year who played a full season, and we thought we all thought, as fans, he was going to be pretty good, and unfortunately injuries derailed him, and that's Elliot Welmer. I'm kind of wondering, like, if you can give us a little bit of insight on what we kind of missed out on by him not having a full career.
We could have used him, man. I think we had success when he did play. I mean, because he was such a threat from the deep ball, and he was big and broad shoulders, 6'9", 6'10", could shoot the ball. And, he was really there. And, Coach Ward loved him, actually. We just couldn't keep him healthy, man. But I would say in today's basketball, he was probably on small ball five, and he could have really shot the ball well. He was skilled. He could put on the floor at times. It was a time in the season where I want to say before he got hurt, where he was on the floor, he would get to the rim, he would dunk it here and there, man. He could finish, he would stop up and under. He would shoot the ball well. And I wish he played more, man. I wish he didn't have all those injuries, man. I kind of forgot about him, but he was a pretty solid player too, man. It just like I said, it just didn't work out, man. We had a lot of bad luck for a few years, man. And I thought Billiken was like good luck. It was a lot of bad luck for a few years, man.
Yeah, for sure.
That senior year, you continued a strong. You continued to play well. 11.5 points per game. You had that career high 27 points at George Mason. That was the final game of your career as a Billiken. What's it like to kind of go out in that kind of tough fashion with a loss?
My final games against Davidson, remember?
Oh, sorry. It was you had 26 in that game, not your career high. I got the two mixed up. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's all right.
What is it like though? Going out on that kind of note where you have an awesome personal evening, but a tough evening for the team.
Shot, man. I think the Davidson team they were real well rounded that year. I don't know how far they made it. They had the Aldridge kid at power forward. He was pretty gutsy. He player of the year that year. It's pretty good guards, and yeah, we just couldn't bring it home, man. It was they played against a team better than us. It was tough, man, because you put out the time 4 years, right? 4 years guy, right? You go in and you want to finish strong, and you want to make a little run at the end, and you know that hey, this might be my last time put on the Billiken jersey, right? So I'm like shit. I mean, put my best foot forward at least, and try my best. So yeah, man, yeah, that was rough. That was rough. But if you talk about career high in George Mason, I had 20 of those points in the first half, and that I ended up the game with 27 because they ran box and won the whole second half.
They boxed and won, do you?
Yeah, they boxed and won the whole second half, man. I remember that they was picking me on full court and the rest of the teams in the box. And I remember that game because after that game, Coach Ford told me, like I said, he was all about confidence. After the game, he was telling me like how I could do that all the time. And if you look to be aggressive, you need to be more aggressive. You need to be more aggressive. You need to shoot more. And my teammates was telling me too, but I didn't want to be aggressive like that. I wanted to pass the ball more. I wanted to be, trying to do a little bit of everything. I could have averaged more points easily, I believe. But I was trying to play more of a team ball and trying to still trying to play point guard and assist guys. So that was kind of my situation. But I remember Coach Ford pulled me to practice when they said we had Jordan Goodwin and Javon Best on the team. And he says, and Hassan French. And he said to me, and DJ Foreman, and he said to me, Roby, our best offense is you shooting the ball and letting them crash the offensive glass. Because I don't know if you know that year we were like top 3 in offensive rebounds.
Yeah.
Offensive rebounds. And he was like, Roby, you the only one that don't crash the glass like that. Like Javon, Jordan, and Hassan and DJ will go get it. So if you shoot it, they give them a better chance. But if you keep passing it up, they don't know when to go. So that was kind of my eye opening. Like later in the year, like, hey, you shoot the ball, let them go get it. And that's how I get all those rebounds.
You were this year. You were around for one of the more controversial moments in Billiken history. How did that kind of situation with the guys being suspended and the legal? How did that unfold from your perspective? What can you tell us?
I want to say I don't want to say too much on it because it's a guy's character on line with them. But I do want to say that before that. If you hadn't talked to anyone that came out practice, you talked to Earl or Earl Ramsey, you talked to any of those guys, and he didn't tell you that team that I was on was probably the best team y'all would have seen in so long. It was me, Javon, Adonis Enriquez, Dwayne Bishop, Ty Graves, Luis Santos, DJ Foreman, with Javon Betts and Jordan Goodwin and Hassan French. We had a lot of guys on the team, man. And I remember we went to go play one scrimmage. We played Illinois State with that whole team. And when I tell you, we probably beat them by so many points. It was unreal because it got to the point where, they just like, hey, let's just go have court and work on some things. That's how bad we beat them in a full game. And I realized, like, man, this team going to be damn special. Like, this is what I've been waiting for since I've been here. Like, this is the team we need. and it kind of all went bad. We had hosted Carter Gordon on official visit, and we hosted him on official visit, and all this stuff just went sour that night, and it was kind of a big miscommunication of things, and that's why everything didn't go like people thought it would, but it just still went sour in a way. But it was unfortunate. It was not an unfortunate event. It kind of just derailed not only the team future, my future as well. It was everybody. So, like, we were in a whole completely different situation my last year in school. Because my junior year, we were just trying to stay afloat and set the culture, come in every day, work hard because we knew our senior year we had all the talent that was gonna come out and play, and they kind of derailed it for the last year, man.
So you say it affected your future. I mean, what do you think it would have changed where you would have gone next, or was it just that year where you thought like we're a tournament team this year?
Yeah, my senior year, I think when you win and you have success as a team, and you're a starting guard on the team as a senior, you can get double figures tonight. That changes everything for everybody. You know what I mean? Like, you don't know what as opportunities open up, what is the thing you have presented towards you. So I think us being like a 500 below 500 team my senior year, it kind of hurts, because nobody cares checks for that top team, So it's a different situation. So that's why I tell guys, you got to win and produce at the same time. If you can find a way to win and produce at the same time, put you in a good situation.
Yeah. So at that point, do you feel like, okay, I'm the senior here, I got to kind of just take over and lead from here on out with what we've got left?
I mean, I didn't have to have that mindset because the guys let me know I was leaving. Like Coach Ward, Javon, like all those guys, like the guys that was put on the team, and Hassan, Jordan. It was always I was a big brother on the team. I was the guy they leaned on towards things off the court. They had a problem, they'll call me and tell me. On the court, they had a problem to tell me. So I was kind of like the person was like the big brother of the team, that team, and they had like the youngest guys had a problem with coach. I would communicate that with coach. Me and Coach Bull had such a good relationship where I could speak to him, and that's what he was good at. Or I'll speak to Tate or Coach Ford and let them know, like, hey, how this guy feeling. We would manage those guys because we knew that those guys was important for the culture that they were setting forward. So it was bigger than me at the time. It was just like, trying to make sure I teach those guys the right ways and make sure, they know that these guys are for them and, make sure it will be better. You guys get older, you guys got more guys coming in. We're going to get me and the other old guys out of here. You got some new talent coming in and you guys want to make a run. So sure enough, they did it, man. It was great.
Talk to me about DJ Foreman. I'm interested about him. I loved him. He was just such a likable guy. And he was only here for 2 years, and you just felt like he, kind of embraced Billiken basketball.
He's a nice, soft-spoken guy, man. And DJ didn't cause no problems ever, man. He was quiet. He was nice, man. He'll hold the door all day open. I mean, he'll hold the door all open all day for a woman if he had to. I mean, he's a sweet person, and like DJ played hard, man, and he crashed off into the glass. He was a freak of he was an athlete. Man. He was 6'9", and he could really move. He was like a size 11 shoe. It was kind of different for a 6'9" guy, 6'8" guy, but
wow,
yeah, he was he could move really fast, man. He could jump, he could rebound, and sometimes his confidence kind of go up and down, but in the long haul, I think DJ was a pretty good guy, man. I like DJ.
The guys on the Ford teams that you were on versus the guys who you were on the cruise teams with, do you tend to have like a core group like that you still talk to a lot today?
For the cruise team, I probably only talk to Brett and Miles and Aaron. Aaron Housegard just talking to BJ movement. Like Brett and Miles. Yeah. But on that Ford team, I just talked to Jordan yesterday. I talk to Javon all the time. He just got married, so congrats to him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I talked to Hassan like last week. Yeah, that's pretty much it from the Ford team. I talked to Javon, Hassan, and Jordan, which was one of those main guys I spoke with. But yeah, those are the guys I speak with, man. I talked to Javon all the time, so I mean, we kind of bonded by the hip at this point.
You mentioned a certain player there, and I think we'd be remiss to not talk about him. Jordan Goodwin, man, what runs through your head when you see this dude playing next to LeBron James and Luka Doncic?
It's crazy because I remember the very first week Jordan was at practice, and I got two stories with Jordan. Okay, so the first one was with Jordan, and we used to do this 5-minute shooting, right? It's like 5 minutes in a row. You get up a minute three-point shots as you can. And out of curiosity, how many you think Jordan made in that time, right? Just at 5 minutes, right?
It's probably a lower number than he would like to admit. I don't even know what to guess.
32.
17.
Oh,
And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, like, yo, ain't no way, like, this kid think he gonna be. But the thing about it was, when he played 5-on-5, you couldn't tell he'll make 17 threes in 5 minutes. He will be everywhere. He's rebounding, he's assisting, he's getting layups, he's making mid-range, he's slashing. Like, it's so much activity where coach will gloat about the activity that Jordan created, and we knew we couldn't be without him because when you seem like you got nothing, you got something because he's out there. He's always going to make something happen. And I remember when we kind of practiced one day. This first week, and we were playing 5-on-5. Jordan shoots like this side step to the right 3-point. Mind you, this kid don't make no threes wide open. But he's riding his high from high school. So like he shoots his side step 3, and coach like he blows the whistle like, hell no, we're not doing that. We're not shooting it anymore, right? So he pulls Jordan to the side. Now he stopped practice and he lets Jordan shoot it again with nobody guarding him. Like, we just stopped playing. Like, Jordan, shoot this shot again. He misses it again. And then he said, I don't want you to shoot this shot ever again. After practice, Jordan is working on this shot again after practice, trying to prove that he can make the damn shot. So, and that was the thing that wired me, was like, this kid is fucking crazy, right? But during the year, as the year goes on, I promise you, what he's doing in the NBA is not any surprise, though, to me, because, like, I know Jordan has this, like this work ethic that does not stop. Like, it's like he got, like, this weird conscience. Like, you got to have, like, I guess, like, in his position or, like, to be an NBA guy, you got to have, like, this insane thought or mindset that I can do anything. I can do anything. And in his mind, he really believes he can do anything. So that being the case, he works so hard all day, every day, because he really believes he can do any single thing. So his work ethic, when he was there, he worked his ass off. So only problem was weight. So he got his weight contained, and you see him in the NBA now, he's slimmed all the way down. His body's being better. When he got his body in shape and stuff like that, man, I knew, like, shit, you in trouble, because you're not going to pick 15 guys in the NBA that's going to play harder than him on that court. Like, he's going to play so hard, man. He's going to be involved in every offensive rebound, every defensive rebound, every loose ball. He's going to be there. And you're not going to beat him to it. Then his shot started coming along a little bit. Everything came together, and he kind of, dominated and, kind of solidified his spot, man, and put him in a better situation. And I'm happy for Jordan, man. I'm so happy for him. I'm wishing him continued success.
Watching him shoot over 38% from 3 and 82% from the free throw line, I'm kind of like, who is this guy?
I was on Twitter one day. Shit, I was on Twitter one day, and people was like, they're like, oh man, Jordan doing 3-pointer.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I remember how I seen him, he get double doubles. Like, of course, he don't get double doubles. There's no better rebounding guard at 6'3" than him. But then you see him start making threes, and like, and he's making them at a consistent rate. And then one time I tuned into the game, I saw him make a 3 off the backboard. I said, what the hell going on? But like, I love Jordan, man, and I'm so happy for him because he worked his ass off, and that's also my little brother. And I'm glad for him, and I just wish he just continue to keep going, man, and keep going.
What's the what level is it that there are guys like LeBron James and Luka Doncic want Jordan Goodwin on their team? Like that's insane.
Yeah, because he do the little things. He do the things that they want to do.
I mean, I know exactly why they want him, but the fact that they do want him makes my head explode.
Yeah, it's insane, man. I think LeBron wanted him on the team when Jordan was down in Memphis. That's when I was seeing him a lot more. And he was playing with the Grizzlies. And he playing Missouri. They playing against the Lakers. And I think
Stole the ball from him.
not only that, if you look at those stats when Greer played the Lakers and Jordan Goodwin played, I think he had like 20 rebounds or 17 rebounds or something like that. He had like 20 points. And he did it like on back-to-back nights. Like he was kicking the Lakers' ass. And I was like, yo, when he became open and he was like, hey, I'm going to South Bay Lakers, whatever. I'm like, I know why. They want you on that big team because you do all the little things that really kind of, was a thorn in the side when you played them. So, yeah, that's great.
Yeah, not to mention his defense with Luca. You know, you need a guard who can defend when he's out there.
I did it again, right?
Did you catch any games in person?
Well, Jordan's.
Yeah.
I was playing. I think I was playing at the time. I kind of came home at the late end of it, but I've been. Now I look at it. I don't think I went to any Jordan big games.
No.
I should. I might catch some this season. I haven't went to any. I think I ended up hitting them up because I wanted to go to the Timberwolves playoff series, but he ended up getting back to me late, and I ended up reaching out to him too late as well. So I'm gonna get with him though. Let's just talk to him yesterday. I'm gonna try to catch him some games this year, man. Now I got a lot more free time on my hands.
I'll meet you there. You speaking of your playing time, you spent quite a bit of time over in Europe playing in the Czech Republic, Ukraine, Israel, Portugal, Georgia. I've never been a guy who seriously considered even living outside of St. Louis, let alone the country. Like it scares the living shit out of me. I can't do it. What is it like making that jump and that decision?
First thing first, I want to say this. Funniest story ever. My very first, we played a scrimmage, right? When I was in Czech Republic, I went to Czech Republic my first year, like a little bit, like an hour from Prague, whatever. And we went to, we had a little scrimmage, right? Like not a scrimmage, but a little game, like a preseason game. And we ended up driving to the south of Croatia, whatever. South of Croatia is really nice, actually. It's like a beach, open skies, big ocean. It's just beautiful. It's nice. Women, it's great. Anyway, we drive out there, right? For the scrimmage, right? And you won't believe who the hell's on the other team.
It's I don't know. Chioza? No. Oh,
no, Ashley Cooper come out there. Mind you, Ashley Cooper plays. Anybody who ever played him will know he plays extremely fucking hard all day, every day. Like he's like, I don't know. He played like I don't know what's wrong with him. He played like that in practice. So I'm like, shit. That was my first game ever overseas in a preseason game. The coach was trying to see what you got. I'm like, I got Ash. Ash is guarding me full court. I'm guarding him. I'm like, man, we already know each other really well. So I'm just like, it was I don't know. We saw each other and just started laughing. It was hilarious. But yeah, man. Anyway, outside of the United States, it was great, man. I had a good time, and I think my best time was in Israel. I played phenomenal in Israel. I had to have my injury in Israel as well, but I think I made my most money in Israel. It was great. It was great basketball, and I love Prague. Prague
was it ever a question that you'd go overseas? Like, did you ever kind of have cold feet or?
I've always been away from home. Like I'm more of a guy in solitude. I like to be alone a lot, unfortunately. So I was cool with that. And when I came out, a lot of people out from Asia reached out to me and stuff. And I had G League teams that actually wanted me to stay and be in the G League because I was 6'4" point guard, shooting guard at the time, and it's a great size for that position. And they wanted me actually to stay and be in the G League at the time, but I was just like, I had better opportunities, overseas to do more and get a little bit more out of it. So I was like, let me go over there and play.
Israel, you said was where you kind of played your best and had your best experience. How long were you over there?
I was over there for probably 5 6 months. I got hurt in the season started in August. I got hurt like early February, man, and that's when I took the year off and came back home to Salute and GA the year because I had an injury, and so Coach Ford was nice enough to let me go over and help the guys, and he really wanted me to stay. He didn't want me to go back to playing no more. He wanted me to stay and coach because it's like, what, I think this is for you, just coach. And I ended up leaving back out. He begged me and Tate told me don't leave, and I ended up being a dummy and leaving anyway. And And then I played 2 more years, and I ended up saying, you know what, I'm not even playing anymore. So I could probably been on the bench probably or somewhere or still here probably if I just stuck it out. So, but yeah, it's a different situation.
Where were those next 2 years at? Once you went back out.
It was in Portugal and Skopje. So Skopje was cool. But Portugal was nice. Man, Portugal was nice.
What is that? You talked about the injury and kind of being kind of out of contract, but what is it like when you finish a season with a club and you're kind of on a 1 year deal? You have no idea really where you're going to sign. What kind of, what's that kind of feeling like?
Um, First of all, you kind of if you playing good and you're actually a good player in the league, you kind of understand where you're gonna be at the next year. Like you kind of start hearing things like your agent started to whisper things in your ear, like because the teams on the bigger teams and bigger leagues or other countries, they kind of already shopping around. They got guys who's watching, you know. So you kind of already hear it, but the numbers aren't solidified. You know what they're gonna give you, what budget they're gonna have. But it's always nerve wracking though, and it's stressful. You know, it's not a life of consistency. Let me say that it's a lot of up and down, and that's kind of where it gets stressful at.
Did you find that any of those countries were kind of like it was kind of untenable, like in terms of the language or cultural barriers or anything like that, or did you find like you could fit anywhere?
I said in Ukraine before the war, so it's the same clear it up. And
Yeah.
Ukraine was different, man. That was probably one of my roughest stays because shit, wasn't anyone speaking really English at all. Um,
Не говорю русский язык.
yeah, I don't know what the hell you're talking about, but yeah,
You don't speak Russian.
yeah, man, that shit was bad. And
It's tough. It's a tough one.
it was different, man. Nobody was speaking any English, man. I was just over there. And I was kind of. They gave me a translator, and they was on the translator with me full time.
And you were there for how long?
I want to say 7 months or something like that.
Well, there's a famous video of the late, unfortunately, but great Justin Love, who played at SLU even before me. So we're talking, 25, 26 years ago, he was there. And it's like a 5-minute video basically of him winning a game in Odessa in Ukraine.
Yeah.
And the video is wild. We'll have to send it to you, but it involves some very scantily clad cheerleaders. There's a
Perfect.
shark mascot that is physically bumping the not the backboard, but like the apparatus, like so while a guy's shooting a free throw, he's trying to move the basket. The mascot. There's dudes who are running around with no shirt on after they win the game. It's pretty wild.
No, it's crazy in Ukraine. I remember I played against shit, I forgot the guy's name, but he played a Rhode Island. Oh, Jared Terrell. He was a damn good player. He played a Rhode Island. I played against him in Ukraine and played the St. Colony Pro. They didn't have like a 7-footer that got drafted to the NBA actually. And, they had a pretty raunchy crowd, and they had guys running around with their shirt off and shit. It was cold outside. They didn't give a damn. It was crazy, man.
Any situations that kind of felt not so safe, I guess.
What was that? Have I had any? You know, I'm actually a pretty lucky guy in that sense. I haven't had any crazy things happen to me like that in their life. But I remember when COVID broke out when I was over there, and I remember the coach was like, that we was first of all like 1 or 2 months went by and they had to still pay us because we were on contract. And then I think COVID like raised like at a certain level whereas they set a curfew at like 7 o'clock, 6 o'clock. It was unreal. And I remember he came and got me. He was just like rushing me out of my apartment. It was like just drove me to the airport, got me on the plane, and I just left the country. Because he was like, hey, if you don't leave now, they're not gonna let you in the country. So I was like, I ran with him. I said, hey, I'll be down. I'm getting back to America today. So yeah, we rushed back to America and we got on back, man. I think I was in Czech Republic at the time.
Wow. Were there any other like American players, like names you recognized over there other than the ones you've mentioned already?
I played against George Mason, Marquise Moore. They kicked the ass.
Oh,
I ended up playing against him in Portugal. I trying to think of some more guys. Darrell Davis, they end up playing against him as well. I think it's a few 18 guys, man, actually. But I just can't recall off my head right now. But I actually played against a few 18 guys because I've seen them all. Like, damn, I played against you sometimes already. But yeah.
When you find out where you're going, are you involved like researching the places, or are you just more of a fuck it, let's ride kind of guy?
I'm researching. I can't walk there blind. I can't do that, man. Hell no. I walk in with a plan. The other place I walked in when I was just like, fuck it, like however it go, was Georgia because I was going there and I knew the team I was on was living in a pretty good location. And I was just like, you know what, whatever else comes with it. And when I got there, there was cool people actually, but the coaching was bad. The coaching was terrible. And he thought I was like fucking a John Moran or some shit. I don't know what he thought. He thought I was running, jumping, and stuff. I was like, yo, I don't even jump that high all the time, bro. I'm gonna play up and jump shooting. Like, you got the wrong guy. And I'm like, yo, you watch my film. He talks to me on the phone before I get there. Watch my film. When I get there, he want me to start running and jumping and ducking because he see me ducking like warm-ups, so like freelancing. I'm like, bro, this is not what I do.
Unreal. Do any of these places, do they kind of give you not necessarily handlers, but other people who kind of help acclimate you to the lifestyle?
I was in Ukraine, like I said, I had to translate in Ukraine. When I was in Israel, it's pretty much Americanized for the most part. I was in Czech Republic, it was pretty much Americanized. Prague, because it's like a tourist town for real. And when I was in Portugal, I had like four of Americans, so we just stayed tight. And a lot of people in Portugal speak English. When I was in Macedonia, I kind of had a guy who was with me actually in Skopje. When I was in Skopje, he was Macedonian, but he spoke great English. He acted just like an American, and he wasn't assigned to me, but he assigned himself to me. Like, he was with me all the time. Like, I'm thinking like man, I can't get rid of this kid, but he was a great guy.
I don't want to get you in trouble here, or us in trouble, but you played in two places that have been all over the news for war, conflict, whatever. I don't care what you think about it. I'm just curious what it's like to hear about and see pictures of places you've lived for a good amount of time. All over the news, like, with war and shit.
The shit is crazy. I'm gonna be honest with you, and I kind of see people like some of these areas are getting affected, and I met some of the people over there, and then some of these countries like in Ukraine, Israel, and stuff like that, and I hate it in my heart with those people, and I'm not a fan of fighting and being back and forth, more like a peaceful guy. So I'm not a fan of the whole war deal. But I understand there's things that happen above my head that I wouldn't understand. So I hate to see it, man. But yeah, it's rough, man. I hate to see and hear that. Like I'm saying, Israel's a beautiful place for me. I love Tel Aviv. I love big city, man. I love Haifa. That's my best food in Israel probably ever in my life. And I met some pretty cool people in Ukraine too as well. My teammates there, they were pretty good people. But I hate that having those situations, man. Yeah.
Do you know anybody who's still over there who's been like kind of affected or had to get out or anything like that?
Yeah. So I had a friend that was playing in Israel when they started the whole thing back and forth, but then they ended up moving the team to Germany and stuff like that, and it hit out in Germany, and they were playing Euro League at the time, and I had a friend that was I know some Americans that were still going to Ukraine and playing because they were still paying people. And I'm like, man, it's not worth no damn bombs, man. But, it's different for everyone, I guess. I think about
it. What do you think the biggest misconception is, I guess, about going and playing in Europe?
Shit, I depend on what the conceptions are. The biggest misconception I probably think with people is like, people do speak English on the other side of the world. Some people think when you leave America, like, nobody wants to speak English. Like, bro, like, the top entertainment is in English. Like I know I met so many people over there that didn't take no classes for English, but they learned through watching all our movies and TV shows and stuff like that. So they pick it up fast, and English also the easiest language to learn, right? So I think people get that confused and like they think like I go over there like damn what I'm gonna eat like bro like some of the things you eat here aren't like Americanized food like they're just your local fast food restaurant like if you go to real restaurants like they're serving the same thing like it's almost the same thing for me and I don't know man that's all I pretty much got off the court wise but on the court wise man if you're gonna play overseas for like I said I played 7 years if you're gonna play more than 2 3 years, you better have something to your bag. You better be able to play a little ball, man. Like, well, you cannot rely on somebody else to do it, because there's no way you're gonna survive because the people on your team isn't going to be as talented as you want them to be at times that you used to. Basketball is an American sport. Let's be real here. Like we know this already. Like, I'm not just saying because of the Olympics, but like if you used to, like some of the guys are not playing that same way of basketball.
So when you, I guess it was like you said, you had to hop on a plane and get back to the United States when the pandemic hit and everything, and that's the year you wind up coming to the staff at SLU, right? Like that's
Oh
It
no,
was
no,
the year
not
after that.
year after that.
okay.
Because that team, that was damn good. I think that team would have won it all too.
Yeah, the when the season got cut off.
Yeah, man, that team was super good, man. They had everything clicking.
Or the 2021 season? Or the
Yeah, the
20.
COVID year, man.
2020 Zach is when Dayton had that like 29 win team,
Yeah,
and SLU was heading into the conference tournament having won like 5 games in a row by double digits. Like they were red hot.
Yo, that
that's
was
right.
so good. I talk to Yuri all the time. I still talk to Yuri a lot too, by the way. I talked to him probably like 4 days ago. I talked to him a lot though. And I think if people was I'm still like I'm one of the people that's like protesting for like Jordan jersey and Yuri jersey to retire because like man the things that they done in that Billiken jersey is amazing. I don't think nobody else should wear them. Like I don't even think I should have wore 5 after Jordan did, but that's my opinion. But like Yuri and Jordan was amazing, man. Like, and I think those jerseys should be in the rafters, man. Because man, I had an opportunity of being on the staff when we was coaching Yuri, and that was amazing. I've never seen a guy you don't have to tell things to. Like there's literally like it's hard to coach him because he see the plays so far ahead. He see it just as well as Coach Ford did. So Coach Ford kind of just gave him the keys and was just like, hey, wherever you take us is where we going. And we were trying to find other ways of getting the offense involved in ways without using Yuri, but it's hard to do it, man, because he made everybody so much better with him having the ball. It was like, damn, is he having the ball too long? But what he was doing was really putting everybody in position. Like those guys on the team, they weren't as good without him. They needed him. And he's a hell of a player, man. He's one of the best point guards I've probably ever seen laid eyes on. And I mean, he's still doing it. He lead the G League in assists, and he got a
Yeah.
couple this year. And he's still dominating the game at a high level, man. And like I said, he's a phenomenal point guard, man. I mean, like people think he don't talk, they think he don't have a lot of leadership things, but no, he's in them guys' ass and all the week. Leading up to the game, he did a great job, man. I love Gary. Great game.
So how does the opportunity to join the staff like how did that actually like
Oh,
initiate? Like, how did that come about?
when I was here, I was more so. I had a good understanding of like how things work, like how like we was recruiting players. Like I was like like when I was here, when we was recruiting players, I was involved in like how we approach players and like how we speak to players and how like what kind of background they're from, like how we approach them in certain ways. How do we pick spaces to like to make them feel like family. And also when I was here, I also like coach asked my opinion on a lot of things about like how how we should gauge this certain type of player like on our team. And how we reach out and talk to people a certain type of way. And I was good at that. And I knew that, and Coach Poole always told me, like when I left, he always have a spot for me. He told me wherever I'm at, I always have a spot for me. So when I got hurt, I called him up and took him up on his word. And sure enough, I told him, he said, call Janet, Chris May, tell him to put the paperwork in. we're gonna start up in about 2 weeks. Hurry up and get it done. And that was it. And I just called Jen and Chris May, and they here put the paperwork in. I just came down. I came down before the paperwork was in because I already knew, that was the situation at hand. So,
Wow.
Yeah, we had a really good relationship, man. So that was in there. Yeah, that was it. So it was kind of understood.
Was there anything that you found different working with Travis as kind of a staff member compared to being a player?
I knew he was crazy as a player, but I didn't know he was batshit crazy when I was coaching with him. He's like there all day and night. Like he's really, really trying to figure out how to reach guys, like trying to find a way to push their button for guys. I think, like in the year when they did go to the tournament, they had this success. He found a way to push all those guys' buttons. He knew what made them go, like the triggers. He knew the triggers to him. So that's his thing. Is he did a great job of finding the triggers for guys, like to make him go. Once he find out what makes you go, like your why, he find out what pushes you. He uses that thing against you in a good way, and I think that's what really separated him from when I got a new coach from Cruz, because like he was trying to know you personally, understand you, man. He builds your confidence, and when he needs you to push the button and go do something, you go do it, and he have you ready to run through a wall for him. Like that's his thing, and yeah, I just say he had that tough year, man. I think that tough year, the year after I left, he had a tough year. I think that team just didn't have much leadership that year. After a year he left, it was kind of a tough year because once you have a guy with the keys in his hand so long, you bring in a new batch of guys and they don't really have identity without they guys. It's kind of a tough situation, but it's okay.
Your year when on the bench there, one of the more interesting incidents I think that took place was Jordan Nesbitt against St. Bonaventure in the conference tournament. There was this Zach, how would you describe it? Jordan Nesbitt kind of got into it with the cheerleaders, maybe in St. Bonaventure.
Oh yeah. Oh man, I forgot about that. I was wondering where he was going with that.
So was that like a big deal at the time? Because I know Bonaventure. It seemed like they were pretty upset.
Yeah, man. I mean, you can't. Yeah, that was a tough time, man. I think he could let his emotions kind of get the best of him in that situation, and he's a good kid, man. It just it's just kind of difficult in his upbringing a little bit, so he's kind of emotional at times, and taking nothing away from him. He's really a good kid, man. He's a kind guy, man. Not a true people respect. But in that situation, I think he kind of just let his emotions get the best of him, and him and the cheerleader kind of went back and forth, and it was a bunch of like, flicking off and, help you, and this your mama, and stuff like that. And Jordan Nesbitt lost his mom, and the girl said something about your mama to him, and that's when he just went off the rails. Ooh. Oh, it's a tough situation. I hate it.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it's a tough situation. So with that being the case, it's just like, hey, like, man, he was kind of out of control, but yeah, we definitely handled that as a coaching staff at the time. It don't matter, it don't matter what somebody say to you, you still can't handle it.
Yeah. Do you remember Lassina Traore doing a jig after dunking a basketball in a game?
Doing what?
When he danced after he celebrated the dunk. Do you remember that?
Was he losing or some shit?
I don't know, but it was fucking hilarious.
Yeah, it was hilarious. No, I don't know. I think we were winning actually.
Yeah.
And he did this shit. I remember watching the film for that. And coach, literally, we got a whole segment for. I don't know. We put like a slider. I don't know what the slide said exactly, but it was like something. And then coach replayed the dance like 5 or 6 times. And like the first time, everybody laughed. The second time, everybody laughed. The 5th time, everybody fucking laughed. It was loud. It was funny the whole 5 or 6 times, man. And I remember that, and I was just like, yo, Brazil is fucking crazy. We call him Brazil. He was like, yo, he's fucking crazy, bro. Like, why would you dunk it and start dancing? It's not like Fortnite or some shit, right? Like,
that's easily, oh my God, I remember watching it, and I was like, he did he did. Oh my God.
He had a pretty good damn career at Long Beach.
Yeah. He's a
He
good
really
player.
did. And then he parlayed that into a transfer up. So yeah, he's going to be at Texas this year.
Huh?
He's at Texas. He went to Xavier. He went to Xavier after 2 years at Beach. Went to Xavier, but blew out his knee, I think. So he sat this year, and he followed the coach to Texas, Sean Miller.
So he's at University of Texas this year.
He is, yeah.
Wait, man. That is crazy, man.
He's come a long way since that little dance.
Brazil was here when he was behind Franco. He's always be like, man, I can be better than Franco. I'm better than Franco. And Franco was trying to little bro him, like, hey, no, like, just follow me. But Brazil always used to get Franco in practice sometimes, and we still play Franco, but like, because Brazil couldn't catch on to the plays or understand the basketball. But then I saw him go to Long Beach State, and I'm like, damn, he actually can play, man.
Yeah.
Oh man. What do you think was? I had a few ways I wanted to ask this question, and I think I'm going to roll with. What do you think was different, or do you think anything was different? Travis Ford in those first few years compared to those last 2 years as a coach. Do you think anything kind of changed?
I am. Let me tell you this, okay? I'm the wrong guy to ask, first of all. So with that being the case, I'm gonna say this. I think with the team he was given that year, right, and the money he was given, right, like, so he had the NIL was just kicking in, right? So of course the bigger schools were more comfortable with what they was giving out, right? So he wasn't going to go get the guys. First of all, Ford came in as a recruit. We knew that already, right? So in the game of NIL with a guy like him who used to money, who's know how to flaunt money, whatever it may be, right? A guy like that would have been dangerous in this situation because he would have known how to, get guys, manipulate guys for money. But the thing is, I don't think he was giving all this stuff right away. He was kind of at work in progress. And also the team he had at the time, those guys was never in a position where they had to be leaders. Because who was the seniors on that team last year, right? Do you know?
I'm gonna have to
pull that up in a second.
Yep, we're killing time.
It was let's see, his final year was at 24.
324. It was Jimerson, Hargrove, Dahlker, Mike Meadows.
Those guys weren't ready to be a leader at the time. You know what I mean? So you have to just. I think that after that year, he would have had things in position where we'd been back on top. But like I said, it was a short lease at the time, and I think it just kind of derailed. But yeah, man, I know those guys personally. They weren't ready to be leaders at the time. He was in a tough spot with those guys. Also, they have a true point guard coming in after year.
Yeah, Medley. Yeah.
Yeah, he wasn't ready for that. You know what I mean? I think he ended up going somewhere else after that, like Kent State, right?
Yeah, and he's been doing really well there.
Yeah. So I don't think he was ready for the position that he was handed in that situation. He's a solid player, but I don't think he was ready for that. The Atlanta team, skills that were presented.
What'd you Terrence Hargrove, man?
Hell of a professional. Oh. He's so up and down, man. TJ is damn great, or you don't know he's out there. He's either A or B. And he had a great professional year this year. And I've been keeping up with him, watching the games and keeping up with the stats. I'm like, shit. Like, I knew he would be great because in the European game, he was a man game. You can catch and shoot, run and dunk. And you're pretty athletic and you can get by people. And he can have a pretty good long career. But yeah, man, I think he had an amazing guy. What's that, Louisiana Tech? He got 10 points in 56.
I think you're right.
Oh, that's right.
I think that is the one.
That was insane.
So you know what? I had a parlay that day. And I remember I was overseas. I cut the damn game off with all Madness Loop. I was like, damn, how we lose Louisiana Tech? That was my last leg. I woke up in the morning. I had money in my account because of them.
Just knew.
That game. I love TJ Hargrove. I told him straight up, I'm like, dude, if basketball does not work out for you, you need to go to the WWE.
Yeah.
Like 1,000%. He would be.
Jeff Hardy or some shit, right?
he'd be an incredible baby face, like an incredible good guy. The kids would go. He'd love it too because the kids would just they'd flock. Um, Man, you got to coach the longest tenured Billiken of all time, Gibson Jimerson. What talk about him because I mean Billiken fans are fresh off watching him grow over 6 years.
There's two players I can remember in St. Louis that have a work ethic that, like I said, Jordan worked his ass off, like within team meetings and also outside of team meetings. But like, two guys who I know who have an insane schedule of like, I'm gonna do this no matter what. It was Gibson and Javon Best. Gibson and Javon, I think both of them probably woke up at 5:30, 6 a.m. every day, no matter what. 7 a.m. 5:30, 6 a.m. 7 days a week, no matter what. Gibson would shoot probably 500, 400, 600 threes every single day. Like, it's like clockwork. It's like it's cereal. So, he's doing this. His breakfast like that. And Javon used to wake up at 5:30, 6 a.m. and get in with Will Bailey. And those guys used to get in so much work, and you can see that coming. So, I think Gibson was the same way, and Gibson was very particular about what he do. He had, like, certain things where he was like, so where I'm looking for, like, superstitious. Like, it's like he do it no matter what's the case. Like, he would go in the morning, shoot a lot, 400 or 500. At night, go in 400 or 500. It was like every single day. So like, I mean, he's shooting the ball like that. He shot the ball amazing. It surprised me. He put the work in for it. And Gibson was to himself, and he worked. So it was never a bad shot. So sometimes he would shoot the shots, and I know Billiken fans probably wanted the same thing. Like, some of the shots he shoot, and like even when he missed it, he like keeps shooting, or sometimes he's not shooting enough. I'm like, trust me, man, they got to put the work in and do whatever he needed to do out there on the goddamn perimeter.
I think we're kind of the closing here. This was fucking awesome. This was just a great time. So glad getting to talk to you. Anything you want to say to Billiken fans? Any story we didn't bring up that you're like? I'm
gonna say this, man. I had a chance to meet Josh Church probably like 2 weeks ago, a week ago, at the basketball camp, and I was hearing about him in Tennessee because he's a coach out in, I think, one state, Dallas, one day, like a small NIA coach like that, and I heard from some friends I got out in Jackson, and they all said also many good things about him. But when I sit and talk to him, I went to the practice the other day as well. The practice, I think everybody should be excited about this year coming up. The team looks damn good. They got some great size on the wings. They got pretty good guards. I love the two guards they got, actually. They got some guys that help, coincide with Robbie. And I think they'll have a damn good season. And I think everybody should be excited. I think Josh Hurts is like a basketball savant. I think he really, really, really knows basketball like to a scary way. And I think that's what keeps him in a calm manner, because he knows what the fuck is going on. And I'm excited for him, and I was able to meet him, and I'm impressed, man. Like, just the way he thinks the game and he sees the game is a phenomenal way. And I'm not just praising anybody for that, because, it's a lot of different type of ways to talk to people nowadays. But, man, he knows, like shit. He knows shit. Like, he can tell you shit. He knows basketball at a very, very high level. And I think he got a good group of guys, and I think they did a great job recruiting guys. And I look forward to this year just like everyone else did, man.
Do you as an alum who's, living locally, do you kind of have an open door over there?
Yeah. But just like I said, when I go now, I'm trying to pick Chris May and Janet Brain now as much as I can, because I said, I'm on a different side of it. I'm not trying to get into coaching. I thought about it, but I'm like, nah. So, so I didn't even try to even reach out to this coaching staff in no coaching way. So it's like, I just want to, pick their brain and get into them that way. So, yeah.
That's great. You got the connections there. You got the education diploma from SLU. Oh, yeah. You got the job lined up now. I think you're gonna make us all proud.
Yes.
Yeah, man. We'll have to catch up if you're at Humphreys. I'll get you. I'll buy you a drink.
Sounds good, man.
Hey, man, it was great talking to you, Davell. Just can't thank you enough for taking the time.
No, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thanks. Appreciate it.